Happy Independence Day. Happy holiday. I hope you're home with your family and enjoying yourself, doing a little barbecue, having some good conversations that are going to help enrich your children and your spouse. I came in today on Independence Day to share a very positive word about you and your credit. As you already know, your credit is one of the most vital parts of your life. You can't buy a car, you can't buy a house, you can't get a job, you can't get an apartment, you can't get cable. You cannot do virtually anything without a good credit score. Otherwise, you're going to be required to put down a large down payment, what they call it, the non-refundable deposit. Uh, I have a guest in the studio today. He's one of my oldest, closest friends, one of them. I have about 3 or 4 people that are my road dogs, my actual friends. We've been friends since I don't know, 81, 84, excuse me, 1987 or 88?
87.
87. It's been a long time. My brother's name, my friend's name is Al Lewis. He actually lives in Atlanta, Georgia right now. And, we've known each other for such a long time. He's a very intelligent, very well-respected person in this community. And he's a part of the government in Atlanta. And what's the name of the city?
Actually, I'm in College Park. We're immediately surrounding Hartsfield Jackson Airport, and we greet you first when you fly in.
I love Atlanta, Georgia. I've never flown there. I've always driven because going to Atlanta is almost like going home for me. After what was it, Katrina, I went straight to Georgia, man. Stayed there for an entire year. Hung out with my big brother here, put on 100 pounds that I still can't seem to get rid of. But it was a wonderful, exciting situation, very, very crucial and important time in our life. But, I invited Al because Al's down to visit his children, his sons who live here. He also has a daughter that lives back in Georgia. I invited him to come on and be on the show today, largely because it's a family day. And yesterday when Al and I were visiting, he had an opportunity to tell me a story about his daughter buying a car. And, that one of the things that I thought about is we do not take the time to educate our children about something that is definitely gonna have an effect on them forever. And that's how to get a good credit score. I've because I've been in the car business for such a long time, I come in contact with people that have great credit scores. And the problem is, are you sharing this information with your children? Now, one of the reasons, as I said earlier, one of the reasons I asked Al to be on the show is because he had a very positive experience. Because, of course, when you interact with your kids a great deal, you try to give them as much of you as you possibly can. And you try to let them know, hey, there's fire over there. Don't touch that. It's hot. Go in this direction, you'll get a better result. But you can tell the story yourself, Al, about your daughter buying the car.
Well, briefly, what it was she was in the market to get a home.
Mm-hmm.
And to pay for the home, she knew what she wanted to pay in terms of a note. She made what I thought was an intelligent decision. She says, well, I'm going to have to scale back in certain areas in order to be able to afford the house. And I was happy to see that happen, because that showed me she was thinking. She says, well, I've got this really nice car and I'm paying this note, but I think I can cut back here. Get me a smaller car, least expensive, then I can go get the home I want. And I said, well, that's fine. So she booked, got with her dealer, her lien holder, and negotiated an opportunity to refinance the car, drop a couple $100 on the note, you know, and make a long story short, she was able to get the house, you know,
and a nice car
and a
too.
nice car. In fact, she ended up with two cars. Okay, because
So let me ask you a question now. Do you feel that this was something that she was prepared to do because of conversations that you and she may have had over a number of years?
uh, exactly. Sometimes it was one of those things that I really felt good because I say she was listening when I was trying to tell her. I said, "Hey, if this is what you want to do. Get your priorities in order. You're going to have to do this." And this, we had several conversations over the years, but when she decided to make that move, that was all her.
It
You
was,
know,
but she was
that,
prepared. She
yeah,
would,
she was
you know,
prepared.
a lot of times people wake up and they assume that because God has put a desire in their heart, that that desire is all automatically going to be filled, and that's nothing can be further from the
The
truth.
truth.
If you're not prepared to win, if you're not prepared to get the things that you want to acquire, it starts with planning long before the time that you actually put yourself in a situation to go and get the car or the house.
Mhm.
You know, I have a lot of customers that come in and talk to me, and a lot of their goal is to buy a house. One of the primary reasons why people talk to someone who counsels them about credit,
Yeah.
because they want to buy their own home. But first things first. Do you understand about your credit? Do you understand how your credit is derived? A lot of people get lucky because they may go to college, get a good job, or a lot of times people who don't go to college still end up with very good jobs, well-paying jobs, and so they kind of slowly go through the motions and end up with a good credit
Yeah,
score.
yeah.
Now one of my other friends, his name is George. He and I, we've been doing the show a lot. Last week, he told a story about how he was able to help his son develop his credit score. And see, the thing is that a lot of people don't realize that these conversations can be had with your children.
Mm.
In fact, they should be had with your
Did your
children.
children? Mm.
You know, I have a family member, and that has a young boy, and the young boy has been, he's, I feel pretty close to him, and as a relative, and I want to see him grow up to be a very successful young brother. And I'm like, man, I really wish you'd cut his hair. Now I might not have the right. I may be out of bounds to say that to somebody. Why don't you cut your son's hair? Why don't you teach him to dress like a young man so that he will grow up to be successful and be an interactive part of society. But it all starts with the interaction that we have with our children from the very beginning.
Yeah.
You know, uh, if you're driving a hoopty, chances are, if it's not your decision to have that hoopty, like you and I were having a conversation on the way in,
Mm.
I said, I'm getting ready to buy a new car, 4 to 6 weeks. But before I do that, I want to make sure that all my cards are done. I don't have those things that are those additional payments that I need to make. But a lot of people, because of the type of vehicle I think I want, a lot of people don't plan that kind of stuff. So as a result, they end up overextended, and then they end up losing the vehicle. And then, a lot of times we all see things through a different vision. So everybody wants to drive the Lex or the Acura or the Mercedes. You know, I don't have to. Heck, I can drive a Corolla and I'm just as happy. But I'm thinking, one of my friends told me, says, bro, you really need to put a more polished image on. And by the way, as you guys can see, I'm wearing a jacket today. And I can tell you it's hot. It's hot. This is not comfortable at all. But tell them what y'all do over in College Park, Al.
Well, actually, what I'm doing now, I'm actually a zoning and planning commissioner.
Okay.
And one thing I'm happy about is that we're looking at some very unprecedented growth in our city and areas and that sort of thing. Um, Economic development heightened. We're bringing in new businesses all the time like that. We're rezoning to accommodate the ones that we do have. And we're very busy with annexation. And it's kind of different because we have communities that surround us, smaller communities that want to be a part of College Park. So they're applying to us to be annexed. We're not annexing them, and that's kind of different. You go into a meeting now dealing with that, and it's not an adversarial type of thing.
Right? Can we be a part of who you are?
I think we can. Tell everybody, come on down.
Come on down. Well, the thing is, and the reason why I invited Al to be on the show is we're still going to get to talking about credit, but I want to talk about all those positive jobs that's going to be created as a result of what's going on. The thing is that you have to be able to have a job. You got to be a part of a productive deal. But it's not just making money; it's managing the money, and then it's not just managing the money, but from a uneducated standpoint, you got to have the knowledge on what's important and what's not in order to get a 700 plus beacon score and be able to maintain it. A lot of times, like for example, I have another friend, I've known for about 3 years, and I told him, I said, you need to learn this product. If you learn this product, then you'll be able to do some things that is above where you're at. And sure enough, I ran into him the other day. He had been involved in. He had a 700 plus beacon score when I met him. He's going through some difficult time with his health. He had a brand new Tundra that he was forced to sell to his brother because he couldn't maintain those brand new Tundra kind of notes. And then the vehicle, he had a second vehicle. It was involved in an accident and was totaled by the insurance company. So consequently, after going through all these different scenarios, because he lucked up and had a 700 beacon score. He didn't have a 700 beacon score because he knew what he had done to acquire it. He had a 700 beacon score because he got lucky. And I tried to explain, most people don't understand how a credit score is actually developed. And so as a result, when these kind of things happen in our lives, and we all have that road, we all going to have the potential to have adverse things happen to us, whether we realize it or not. You can walk out this door right here and trip and fall and break your leg. It's just there. It's a potential for things to happen. So as a result, because we don't prepare ourselves, and then even worse, we don't prepare our children. So we have a history of making the same decisions continuously in our lineage, in our family tree. We don't help our children. We don't help ourselves, because maybe if we had taught someone else a little bit more, then maybe they could help us overcome when adversity comes. It's time for our first break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Alternative to conservative. Real
Doing good. Yeah, doing good.
Conversation is going round. People talking about the girl who's come to town.
This is the Reverend D. Dunn.
And Charles Stewart.
We will be coming to you live every Monday, 11 to 12 noon on New Orleans Talk Network, hosting a new show, A Church Without Walls. The church is us, and the church is you. We are church with no boundaries. Stay as long as you want, leave when you want. Remember, every Monday, 11 to 12 noon, tune into A Church with No Walls.
Don't you dare miss it.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
This is Tanya Free. A lot has happened since last Wednesday's show. A historic sit-in and a protest in the House of Representatives, Supreme Court rulings on affirmative action in immigration, an armed gunman in a theater in Germany, and a Donald Trump-inspired congressional hopeful post, a Make America White Again billboard in Tennessee. You can't make this stuff up. Speaking of Trump, what's your take on him now reading from a teleprompter and calling up Michelle Bachmann to be his top female evangelical voice? These stories and more this Wednesday on the Tanya Free and Friends Talk Show, 2 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Central.
Join Tanya Free and Friends at TanyaFree.com. On air, online, and on point.
This is Belinda Parker Brown, president of Louisiana United International. I am the host for A Force for Justice. You can listen to us every Thursday morning at 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central, exposing the injustice in our criminal justice system. You can also call in at 504-341-8255 and tell us how you have become a victim in our criminal justice system.
On the New Orleans Talk Network, A Force for Justice with Belinda Parker Brown.
Wags Food and Culture at 1601 Plaza Drive in Marrero, always delivering the best food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's a reason why people keep returning to Wags. The food's always hot, great portions, and it's just down home good. Call ahead to order in advance at 504-348-3080. That's 504-348-3080. And let Larry know that you heard about Wags on the New Orleans Talk Network. Call him now. Wags Food and Culture at 1601 Plaza Drive in Marrero.
We're back. This is You and Your Credit. I'm your host, Remus Bowman. I got my good friend from the East Coast. From the East Coast, yeah. Atlanta, Georgia. Al Lewis on the phone. And now I got my other good friend from the West Coast on the phone. I surround myself with very positive people. And sometimes you got to do that if you're going to have springboards. You got to surround yourself with people who can bring a level of intelligence and thought to the process. If everybody that you associate with is all nagged out, always negative, and can't be versatile enough because they're stranglehold by the things that hold them down, then all you got is just a black hole, man. You got nothing, nobody that's going to send you a line. George, where you at, baby? Georgia Party.
Hey, man, this is George Russell with First Impressions Custom Clothes by way of Houston, Texas, on a wonderful 4th of July Monday. 4th of July Monday, baby.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Hey, listen. I agree with everything I just heard you say, except one thing.
Talk to me.
You said sometimes. No, it's all the time. Hey, listen, that's a good question. You want to be blessed sometimes or all the time?
All the time, baby. all the time.
Should I go on?
I want to not only do, and I was telling Al on the way here, because of the things that God has put in my life and the people that God have put in my life, I'm able to try to be a blessing to as many other people as I can. I'm not sitting in my office when someone walk in and they're going through as much adversarial adversity as they are. I'm there to try to give them answers. And that's the first thing, the first order of business. Why would you go to someone who can't help you solve your problem?
Well, Mr. Bowman, here's how I see it. You can help one or two and carry maybe one or two folks, but you can educate thousands.
That's what I'm talking about.
So what you're doing is not really help; it's more of an education.
Well, that's true.
Now, once you have the knowledge, it don't apply, but then it's on you.
Yes.
But a lot of times I find out in my community, we just don't have the knowledge or the information, so we don't know. Well, now since you went live and going to the stream to help the people, now you know. So now you can be held accountable. At first you had a great alibi. I didn't know, but now you know.
Hey.
Now it's your time to act.
All you have to do
knowing without acting is a bigger sin.
Anybody who needs to consult with me can call me or interact with me on Facebook. You can call me at 504-271-8117. You can call the show right now. Right now, the lines are open. And you can call the show. It's 504-341-8255. We're here.
Hey, Remus.
Yes.
Hey, Remus, what's your other guest from Atlanta name?
Al Lewis.
Al Lewis. Do I know you, Al?
I think so. Remus talks so much about you, and I'm sure we've met. It'll come to me sooner or later.
hey, what do you do? What do you do?
Right now, like I say, I work for the city of College Park. I'm a planning commissioner in the city government there.
Good. Let me ask you a question. Guy come in looking for a contract on some work you got to do, right?
Right.
Everything is equal. You want to know who you're dealing with. You want to know who you get your money. You want to know who got a word. One of the first things you do is what? You check their credit.
Exactly.
If their credit, if one guy's credit is better than the other guy, that might not guarantee him the job, but it weighs in his favor.
Yeah, he certainly has it. Yeah, he's a step up.
Well,
that's a good question. Don't we need favor?
Yes.
Well, we all want favor, right?
Right.
Here's a chance to create opportunity for you to get favor. But you got to act upon some stuff. You just can't hear this stuff and let this stuff take this stuff for granted. You got to start acting upon this stuff, people. You got to start making a move toward it. If you make a move toward it, it will start making a move towards you, and y'all will connect sooner.
Exactly. Right.
It's just that easy.
Yes.
It's not hard.
Doors open.
It's not hard
Yeah.
stuff. We're not asking you to go back to school and get a PhD. No, that's not what we ask. We actually say, hey, listen, you can take a chance and make your money more. You can get a raise within a raise, because if you pay less, when I say less, I'm not meaning getting a good deal. I mean principal and interest total less, make more money.
Yes, exactly.
If I got good credit and I get 0% interest, and you get, let's say 6, every $100 you only have 94. I have 100. See?
There you go.
Is that my money working for me?
There you go.
I just made money. See, good credit can make you money. If you do any research on credit card was not created for credit. It was actually created for the float. If you got good credit, you can take a part of that system. You have all the money you want when you need it at the right place at the right time. If you have good credit.
Well, the thing is, George, I've really given a great deal of thought to the announcement I'm about to make now that you're on the phone with me. And what I'd like to say to everyone who's listening, I will be available if you have a business or if you have a church and you want me to come out and give a class to your community, I'm available. I will do it.
Listen. Free class.
I will show up, and I'll bring the information everyone will need to make better decisions. I promise you. You hear a lot of people talking. There's a lot of companies out there. The other day, one of my relatives was saying, "Man, you're beating a dead horse." There's a lot of people doing credit. I'm sorry. There's a lot of people that's doing credit, but they're not reaching my community. I still am sitting behind the desk and watching people frustrated, uninformed, walking in, can't buy, when I have to tell somebody that everybody told you no. So that means that no, the surface hasn't been scratched. I'm not doing this simply. I have no idea how I got on this road, but I'm enjoying the ride primarily because I like the sacrifice and I like the commitment because I want to see people happy. I want to see our community develop along with others. I work at a car dealership, and there are times when I've seen people cry. I've seen, especially women, because, in our community, a lot of the women are single parents and they're working 2 jobs. Imagine having to work. Number one, you're making 2 jobs. You're working 2 jobs. You got children, and you're making minimum wage, and you need a transportation because you got to provide food. You got to, get to and from work. You might have to go to the school. You got all.
I live in Houston, Texas. Transportation is necessary.
Yeah. Everywhere, transportation is necessary.
It's necessary. I'm just telling you, it's necessary here.
Yeah. Well, I know how big it is. I lived in Greens Point. Remember?
Right.
I lived in Atlanta, and I lived in Houston, and I can honestly say, both of those cities are gigantic. You gotta go a distance to go anywhere in either one of those cities. Go ahead.
With great credit, you can automatically qualify yourself into a whole nother minority group. I'm just telling the truth. And no, listen. It's benefits to that.
Absolutely.
You get 0% rate. You get 0% credit card. You get when you apply for something. Once they see their score, you don't they don't verify it too much. It's just different.
A whole different life.
It's a whole different pattern.
I called up. This was some years ago. And matter of fact, this was after Katrina. Now I have health care, and I've been having health care for a long time through different, whatever's available, and plus I have the VA. But what happened is I went to this facility, and the bill was covered under one of my providers. So what happened is I called a collection agency because I frequently run my credit bureau. So when I called the collection agency, the person obviously pulled my credit because what they said is, we're going to check into it and we'll call you back. When this person called me back, their conversation was totally different. How you doing, Mr. Bowman? We're sorry for your inconvenience. When you have a good credit score, people will apologize to you for because they're a nuisance. When you have a poor credit score, they find all kinds of ways to manipulate and harass you and tell you how you don't pay your bills. But there are so many ways that you can improve your credit score that, everybody deserves a second chance. and that's what this whole thing is about. Giving people, because we all, everybody goes through times.
Everybody deserves more than second chance. Everybody deserves every chance you willing to try and put forth effort to change. You deserve that chance.
I agree with that.
I'll give it 10 times. Who cares? Who counts?
Yeah, that's. But
you got to do something.
Yeah, hey, if you do nothing, nothing will change.
You got to do something.
Got to make a commitment. Got to make a commitment. That's the reason.
Move toward the way of doing better for yourself.
That's the reason why.
I mean, if you have the extra money that you're paying on interest rate, save it. You're paying the way you're saving because you're paying too much for your APR because your credit is marginal at best. And a lot of times when they let you have it, you think that's good enough, but you're really losing a lot of money because you're overpaying.
Yeah. Hey, George, I need you to stay right there. It's time for our second break. We got to take a call for worthy pause. We need to take a pause for worthy cause. And we're going to be right back. This is You and Your Credit on the New Orleans Talk Network. We got George Russell with me, Al Lewis with me. I'm your host, Remus Bowman. Join us. Thank you.
This is Belinda Parker Brown, President of Louisiana United International. I am the host for A Force for Justice. You can listen to us every Thursday morning at 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central, exposing the injustice in our criminal justice system. You can also call in at 504-341-8255 and tell us how you have become a victim in our criminal justice system.
On the New Orleans Talk Network, A Force for Justice with Belinda Parker Brown.
There are moments in life when we hesitate. Buying a home shouldn't be one. Markets are changing and interest rates are still low. Now is the time to make your move. At Rocksteady Realty, we are determined to find a home for you. We know the area, provide personal attention, and more convenience. For all your residential and commercial needs, contact Willie Jones at Rocksteady Realty at 504-460-3819. Discover the Rocksteady difference.
Hi, this is Jill Samuel with Faith That Works. Join us today as we allow the Word of God to change the lives of people by equipping the body of Christ to evangelize the world. I want to personally thank you for spending this hour with me and the body of Christ. Join us on Tuesdays from 11 a.m. Central Standard Time to 12 p.m. on the New Orleans Talk Network. Your encouraging coach, Miss Jill.
Hi, I'm Linda Lewis, Director of Armstrong Family Services. I'm here to remind you that anyone can become homeless, even you. Armstrong Family Services is a nonprofit organization that serves families in crisis. We focus on keeping homeless families together. Post-Katrina, we have helped over 1,000 families. Now we need your help. For more information, please call 504-899-2995.
Thank you.
Bethesda House of Prayer. Bethesda is a church for non-traditional worshipers, a church designed for those who love God's word. Would you like to attend a church where believers and non-believers can choose to worship together? A church where cultural differences does not get in the way of God's message. We invite you to be our special guest. Our services begin 9 a.m. on Sunday, located at 7601 West Bank Expressway, Suite B, Marrero, Louisiana. For more information, contact us at 504-348-0132.
We're back. This is You and Your Credit. I'm Remus Bowman, and my special guest, my good friend for 30 years, Mr. Al Lewis from Atlanta, Georgia. My other good friend, Mr. George Russell, who I've been friends with for probably a little longer period of time. We George and I used to work out together. Unfortunately, I got out of the gym. George is still in the gym. He works out virtually every day. He teaches.
No, not virtually. No.
It's every day. And the good thing is he trains. He teaches this.
The God himself will ask you what days you want to be blessed. What days you gonna say?
Every day.
Okay. There you go.
Every day. And he also teaches. He's also taught that same type of behavior patterns to his two sons and his wife. His three sons. I'm sorry, I forgot. I apologize. His three sons and his wife. Now, unfortunately, they're in. My good friend is living in Houston. I'm living in New Orleans, so I need to find me a good buddy to motivate me to get back in the gym. I would love to lose about 50 to 60 pounds. And we're gonna work on that. That's gonna be one of my goals over the next few weeks, is to push myself in that direction, primarily because I know that it's a healthier lifestyle. Go ahead, George. What were you gonna say?
I said, man, we live in this great big universe, and a lot of times we think too small. So the universe works is the first law of the universe is self-preservation.
Absolutely.
Doing the gym starts you off right. You did first preservation.
Yeah.
You took yourself.
Yeah. So what time you get up in the morning to go to the gym?
I normally do a 5 a.m. deal, but lately I've been doing 7 o'clock to 7:30 because I'm working at the Pastor Irv White. He's the assistant pastor at Windsor Village Methodist Baptist Church in Houston, Texas.
Mm-hmm. So I will say this: you will motivate anybody who comes around you to live healthy.
I'm 58, man. Everything counts.
It does help you think.
Listen, no matter what, I eat right, but I still think catfish tastes better fried. So it's chicken.
It's just the least healthy way to consume it.
But Mr. Bowman, it kind of reflects back to the credit.
Yeah.
If you know what's right, and you know the between right and wrong, and you know how you can better yourself, why not try that?
Or at least.
Whatever you got, no matter what age you are, if you ain't where you want to be, ain't working. Yeah, there you go.
It's just not working.
Reality.
Yeah.
That's a hard reality. But guess what? You can change. You're not a tree. I have an oak tree in my yard. It sits there for 100 years.
Right.
If you decide to don't like me, don't like the neighbor, don't like the way the dog piss on it, don't like the way I cut the grass, it can't move. But you can. You can right now. All you gotta do is call Mr. Bowman, email Mr. Bowman, and give it a try.
Absolutely.
That's hard. Get started.
Let's get started.
Hey man, listen, I'm where I'm at. You know why? I got started.
I'll be honest with you.
I mean, I'm not gonna come across like I got up to the back and hit out the park every single time. That's why I said when you said second chance, I was like, woo. If they didn't stop that second chance, I'd have been in trouble. I'm glad they kept going.
And you're absolutely right. It takes a long time to develop good habits. It becomes a part of your lifestyle, becomes a part of the way you live. It's something that you will think about with every day when it's going to be a part of the fiber of your decision-making process. is the point I'm trying to make. If you
But
always
here's-
put credit
here's
as a
the deal.
part
Here's
of the
it's
deal.
best to swim with the stream instead of upstream.
I-
Now, normally we don't have good habits and make good practice, so we swim upstream, and some of us make it.
Right.
But look, we make it. We're too old to enjoy the money, do anything with it. We're all banged up, beat up.
Yeah.
Why not just go? Why not just go with what it is?
Yeah.
Right now, your credit is kind of like the number one thing going. That's more important than the house, the car, all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You know, why not get that? Why not get that at a better price? The same stuff. Why overpay? Because if your credit's not straight, your situation's not straight, and you ain't been taking care of your business, and you ain't doing nothing to change, you gonna overpay. You gonna pay somebody.
Well,
we all gotta pay.
Well, you know, one thing that people don't understand is that when you have a complete understanding of interest rates and how credit works, then you won't be a victim. When you go in to buy a car or a house, or you know, or buy something at a store on credit, then you won't. Number one, you won't have to put down a big down payment. Your better understanding of how things work, so a sufficient enough understanding of how things work that some guy won't be able to overcharge you for things that you shouldn't have to pay for, because you may qualify for 0% or 1.9 or
Well, here's the
2.9.
deal.
You'll
When
do
your credit's
competitive.
straight, they selected you and offer you, and you can negotiate between them because they want you.
Right.
When your credit is a little substandard, where you can barely get on, you asking them, can I, may I?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where it is.
And you're absolutely right. You're asking for permission to participate instead of being invited.
Right.
And I've been around the car business for quite a long time, and I never really understood why some people walk into a car dealership and they get the best price off the bat. They get the best interest rate off the bat. I didn't understand that. I was working right there. I'm like, who they think they are? Why do they? Man, I remember my first interaction with someone who I was at working in Metairie at a dealership in Metairie, and this lady wanted to buy a car. It was about 22,000, and she says to the manager, my payments are going to be $325 to $350, but I prefer them to be less than $350. I'm thinking to myself, this is a $20,000 car. How are they going to do that? That's impossible. I guess what, bro? She walked out of the dealership with $325 a month payments, and they were happy. They were happy to do it. Yo, she told them, this is the car I'd like to have, but I don't have to. Yo, now, if you want my business, I need you to do this to earn it. So the manager, he sit there and he gave away the farm, because he felt like he was being blessed to have this customer with good credit walk in the dealership, and gave her the note she requested.
Well. Here's why that took place. First of all, let me give you a little background so I can show you that I'm qualified to make this statement, right?
Mr. Finance Manager,
I was a finance director, y'all, right? So I'm the guy that you meet last, right? And I'm the guy. Then I went from there to I was the guy that talked to the people about your situation. To the bank. So I see you. I can describe that to the bank, but the bank only sees what you on paper, what's on print.
Right.
They don't know your circumstances, and they don't really care. They only go by that beacon score. Credit. Most of the credit are beacon driven. That's just the way it is. Everything becomes less. You paying, you get everything you want in less. You have less savings because you're paying too much to get what you want. Don't make sense. When we gonna stop doing that? I'm just telling you. That's no smart stuff. This is regular.
Well,
you gotta get started though.
Yeah.
Hey, man, listen, give your email out again, man.
Remus Bowman 55@gmail.com, or just Remus Bowman on Facebook, or you can pull up the show on YouTube, because we are streaming live on YouTube right now. That's You and Your Credit with Remus Bowman. If you don't see the show you're right now, but you know about the show, you can pull the show up anytime you choose to, 24 hours a day, because it's right there. The information's right there. Unfortunately, today has been kind of a laid-back day. I haven't really talked about credit remedies as much as I talked about the fact that we need to get you to come in and do this.
If you had to give your listening audience 3 things to do to get started, what would it be?
The first thing I would do, if you wanted to have a good credit score, is get a copy of your credit report. The second thing that I would do is I would evaluate that report, look at the information that's old, over 3 years old, because in Louisiana there's a statute of limitation of 3 years, and decide which creditors I was going to negotiate with if I needed to get them off. The third thing I would do is, and this is probably what I should do, number one, is get with a guy named Remus Bowman and find out the information that I just told you need to do, number one and number two, because I'm going to do all that for you. And I'm also going to put you with a company that I represent, United Financial Services, that's going to make it easy for you. They're going to take all the guesswork out of it. You'll be able to contact them Monday through Friday, every day. They'll be able to give you the information that you need, because they have attorneys on staff, they have counselors on staff, Monday through Friday, 5 days a week, that they can look at your active information. I can't continually pull your credit report because I'm moving way too fast. I'm involved in a lot of things. I have a large customer base. So I don't want to pull someone's credit report more than the one initial time. But I represent a company that can do soft pulls. And let me just say this. There's a big difference in having a company that knows how to remove information off your credit report versus someone who's just a report. Paying a service to get a copy of a report every month, that's throwing your money away. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Just getting a copy of a report, monitoring it. We want to monitor it, but we also want to remove the incorrect information that's on your report. Did you know that 75 to 80% of everything that's on your report has flaws? There's so much substantial information for removal of derogatory information that's on your report, that overnight people become 600 beacon scores within. I have a lady right now, this is a true story. I put in the credit reporting, put in United Financial Services about 6 weeks ago. She just got information in last week from the credit reporting agencies. 8 different derogatory marks, that lines of credit, or different derogatory lines that were on a credit report, were removed in less than 2 months. Now, this lady went from like a 450, 500 beacon score. Now she's over 6. Because she really only has like maybe 15 or 20 things on the total report from over the years.
So if she'd have bought a car from you, what would the APR be?
Well, right now APR probably, because she's not quite what.
It should have bought a car from you in the beginning when it was.
It was terrible. 24%.
And now what she qualified for?
And within 6 or 8 weeks.
Now what she qualified for?
Probably 7 to 8.
That's the difference.
It's a major difference.
Swing. That's a 13-point swing on average car, $20,000. That's 5 G's.
Well, and just
I'm just doing the number, man. I'm just doing the number.
Well, you're a numbers guy, and the interesting part of this is she don't want no regular car. She drives Avalons.
I mean, no. But watch this. Mm-hmm. Watch it. Now, over the course of the car, same car,
mm-hmm.
you have 5,000 extra to spend somewhere else. Same car, same everything the same.
Right.
Same money.
Right.
Same money, except biggest score different. I pick up $5,000. Now I can spend $5,000 any way I want and still bust even the way I would have been.
And still driving a nice car.
No, the same car.
Well, yeah.
Same car.
Yeah. You know, and the thing is that most people don't understand how much money they can save.
And how much is service though?
$399.
And is it a monthly fee?
Well, you can convert it to a monthly fee if you want to.
Okay,
you can put,
is it a monthly fee?
Yeah, you can pay
How much is monthly fee?
You can pay $39 a month.
Okay, let's say $40. She paid for 6 months. $240. She said so. She wound up spending $500, and her deal went biblical. 10 times fold. She got $5,000.
And overnight.
No,
overnight.
That was 6 months. That wasn't overnight.
No, George, you missed it. It was 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay, 6 weeks.
Right.
Okay, so it still wasn't overnight. 6 to 8 weeks.
Right. Oh no, none of this happens overnight. See, right. And you know what? Something that concerns me is that I get phone calls. There's people. There's a lot of unscrupulous people, characters that want to be in this game. You know, in this business, but they don't study it.
That's in everyone. No, you got to listen to them. That's how you bring them up. Let's stay positive. Let's figure out how they can contact you and start helping people. We didn't know about the other people.
Yeah,
it's your turn. It's you now, right?
Yes,
you, right?
You're absolutely right, my brother.
So what we talking about?
We're talking about helping the people.
Give your email out again.
Remus Bowman 55@gmail.com or Remus Bowman on Facebook, or you can just call me at 504-274-8117. George, I like to thank you, man, for keeping me on a positive path. Every now and then, that there's this devil that you know, you got the good devil and the bad devil and
it's no good devil, but the devil's a liar.
and he's trying to steal the positive vibes, man. He's trying to steal what we're trying to accomplish. Because let me say this. We actually, I could actually put people on the show and let them talk about their experiences. But the biggest thing is a lot of people find that this is very personal information. So as a result, they really don't like to have their information out there. And, you know, but I'm thinking about it, but then I'm not. So, you know, maybe when I get some of them to start checking out the show, maybe they'll put some positive stuff on some of the reviews about the show. But it's just about that time. It's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Independence Day. I'm going to hang out with my friend Al. George, I thought you'd be in town for Essence this week. We missed you, man.
Hey, man, I had planned on coming, but my baby boy going to Miami. I want to make sure I get him up on this.
I hear you.
Get his brains right.
Mm-hmm. I know you're concerned, big brother.
No, I ain't concerned. I'm just do what I do. I'm concerned. He would say no. I would say no.
I hear you.
I ain't got no money.
We should say it's all mine. Hey,
the rule's still the same. It's with the gold rule, right?
This, you've had an opportunity to to associate with some of my very close friends. And as you can tell, they're very positive people, and they're giving positive messages, and we're trying to help our community. Come on down. This is You and Your Credit. I'm Remus Bowman. I'd like to thank George Russell, and I'd like to thank Al Lewis for being on the show today.
Wags Food and Culture at 1601 Plaza Drive in Marrero. Always